Okay, I'm going to switch gears on you guys a little bit today. This Ford Ranger has come to us with the check engine light on, and it has some shifting issues. So we're going to see what this computer, I'm going to walk you through the process of using our Modus Edge here at the shop, how we do that. So first, we're going to turn the key just to the on position, power up the computer, you hear the fuel pump prime. And we're going to plug this into the OBD2 data port that on most vehicles is underneath the driver's side of the dash. 1996 is when OBD2 started. See, now we've got power because our computer has come on. We're going to go to scanner, and this is a Ford, so we're going to scroll down to Ford, and we're going to hit yes. I'm going to not use the touchscreen so you guys can see. And we're going to try to do an automatic ID. Nice thing about this new computer, it will already talk to and find the VIN number. So we're going to try that first. And it says this is a 2008 Ford Ranger with the 2.3 four-cylinder in it. And that's what this is. And it gives us the VIN number there. So we hit the OK button. And we're going to go down, because it's a transmission problem, we're going to go to transmission. We're going to go to codes menu. And we're going to do memory codes, because this thing's been driven some. So we're going to see what it says. And it tells us that to get these, the engine must be off or running, so we could do this either way. Well, the engine's off at the moment, so we hit yes. And it's going to self-test, and it comes back with Gear 1 incorrect ratio with a P0731. So I'm going to remember that, and we'll go in and look up our diagnostics. Okay, I'm in my office now, and I've logged into the Protoman software that we pay for to be able to get diagnostics. So we're going to select a 2008 Ford. Scroll down here to Ranger. We know it's the 2.3 liter. It is a standard cab pickup with an automatic. So there's all of our stuff. And we know that we have a DTC index, there it is, and it's an automatic transmission DTC of 731. So we're going to scroll down until we find that in the list. Shift solenoid A, shift solenoid B, shift solenoid C, or internal parts. It's a first gear error with no first gear. So, and it's telling us to refer to the solenoid operation chart, then go to pinpoint test A. I'm going to go ahead and click on pinpoint test A. And I'm going to print these off so I have a physical record of being able to go out in the shop and read and mark off stuff. We'll kind of scroll through these. So here's our tests, functional checks, torque converter clutch. So I'm going to go ahead and print these, and then we will look at the shift solenoid chart as well, because that's what it told us to do. So we're going to go down to transmission, automatic. Okay, I found the shift solenoid operation charts underneath the automatic transmission diagnostic tests and the pre-diagnostics. So here's the normal chart. And then it's got two failed modes: failed off due to PCM or wiring connections, or the mechanically hydraulic stuck on. And then it's got one that says in the failed off position. So I'm going to print those off as well, and then we'll go look at the computer PID chart and see what it's saying. So let's see what I get when I hit print here. Okay, it's giving me all the charts and all the stuff, so that way I can actually have a physical record out in the shop with me as well. Okay, after yesterday's video of showing how to retrieve codes and look up diagnostic procedures, I took this for a test drive. I had not driven it yet, this 08 Ranger, and the way the transmission responded, it felt like it was low on fluid, because it just was sluggish and didn't shift right, and the overdrive light was flashing on my test drive. I drove it around one city block and pulled it back in. So I let it warm up to temperature. I opened the hood and pulled the dipstick. When I wiped it off, stuck it back in after it was warmed up, it came back completely dry. So I lifted it up in the air and I got to looking at it. And if you'll notice, I know my light's not great, but you see how grimy and greasy this transmission is? So it's got a leak somewhere. And I'll try to get my lighting a little better. If you see here, look how wet this transmission pan is. I don't know that that's the only leak, but that's definitely one of them. So we're going to do a transmission fluid and filter change and inspect what we find inside there as we go around. You see how wet it is back here. And we'll get that leak taken care of and fill it up with fresh ATF. Okay, while I was doing that, I had it in fast forward, so look what we found. There's the filter. Fluid looks okay as it's still dripping out. Try not to get any on the camera. It's a little dark in places. If you look there, see it's supposed to be nice bright and red. This has almost got a nasty brown color to it, but there's still some red tint to it. And I'll move it around here and we'll look down in the pan. There's a little bit of sediment there. Looks like there's some metal stuck to the magnet. Lots of gunge around the outside. And a nice little sample of the fluid there that's saving. So we'll get it cleaned up. Let it drip, 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 because I want to get as much of this out as we possibly can. And the filter and stuff are going to be here, and I'll show you how to change those later. The other problem I told you guys about was, I'll tell you about it, is in this front end. See how that tire wiggles back and forth all the same, all four directions? It's not supposed to do that. Let's go look at the other side. This one's not nearly as bad, but it has some play in it too. Well, this vehicle still has spindles and tapered roller bearings in it. So your guys are going to get to watch me clean and repack traditional wheel bearings. Okay, as you can see, I've taken the wheel off in the time lapse, and I'll probably do a time lapse again to show you how to take the rest of this off. But you can see, here's the hub. It's got a dust cap. There's a nut that screws on the end of the spindle underneath here. There's a brake caliper, caliper bracket, and the rotor is all built into the hub. So I got to take this off, and we'll pop this cap off, take the cotter pin out, and back the spindle nut off, and then we can slide the rotor off. So I'll be working on that, and I'll explain more of it to you when we get done. Okay, what you just saw me do was take the brake caliper bracket, and I took the nut off. And if you noticed, I didn't have to use a wrench here. So whoever worked on this last time, or just over time, that nut had gotten loose, and bearings wear all kinds of times. So spindle looks pretty good. It's not all marred up, so it hasn't been running very loose very long. Threads are good. Bearings, I'm going to clean them up, get all the old grease off of them, look them over for flakes and specks, and when I get them back together, we'll either repack them or I'll be talking about replacing them. I'll also be cleaning the races out, which are inside the hub, which I showed you when I laid it down over there. Has a brake rotor built into it. Get those done. I'll get everything cleaned up, I'll show you how to put it all back together